the March quarter inflation numbers have just been released by the ABS. Let's bring in our business reporter, Ed Boyd. Ed, inflation has fallen to 3.6%, but it's the cost of services, things like insurance, that still remain elevated.
Yeah, so Kieran, inflation at an annual rate in the March quarter is 3.6%. It's slightly higher than what economists were expecting. They were expecting the number to come in at 3.5% today. So inflation remaining a little bit more elevated than anticipated. And it is services that the ABS call out. Particularly today, they mention how education costs have surged quite extensively during the past 12 months. They're up almost 6% here. Labour costs as well. Rental prices up 2.1% for the quarter. You can see here the quarterly rate, inflation increased 1% over the first 3 months of this year. Economists were expecting it to be 0.8%. That added to the annual rate up to 3.6%. We also got the monthly inflation numbers today just for the month of March. And you can see here inflation during the month of March was 3.4%. Here's the inflation rate, the annualised rate per quarter over time. And you can see the peak, 7.8%, was in the December quarter in 2022. Here are some of the things which you can see have gone up pretty significantly in cost. Food, clothing, transportation, housing, energy, all up pretty strongly in that quarter, the most recent quarter. And that's really helped keep inflation a little bit higher than anyone was really anticipating. So the number today, a little bit stickier, a little bit more than what economists were predicting, Kieran.
Yeah, indeed. And the Reserve Bank's next meeting, Ed, less than 2 weeks away. Mm-hmm. How will they react to today's figures?
Well, remember, the Reserve Bank needs to get inflation down to its target band of 2% to 3%. And right now, with inflation in the March quarter at 3.6%, it's a bit higher than they would like. They obviously probably going to need to keep interest rates elevated for a longer period of time. So we'll get a long press conference from the Governor, Michelle Bullock, in less than 2 weeks. She'll obviously react to today's numbers. I know we're going to hear from Treasurer Jim Chalmers as well. So inflation today, yeah, a little bit more than expected, which basically means the cash rate's at 4.35%. Expect the RBA to keep rates on hold for the foreseeable future as they slowly bring inflation down in our economy, Kieran.
Yeah, and some economists, like our friend Warren Hogan, he's going to be joining us in a few minutes. I'm interested to see what he says, because he's not ruling out a hike either in his mind. But what about the stock market? How's the market reading the numbers?
Well, we should be able to put up a live chart for you of the ASX 200. Now, before the numbers came out, the market was up about 0.43%. You can see now, wow, the market has actually dropped off significantly, down to just up by 0.09%. So there's a big fall there in the ASX 200 just in the past 3 or 4 minutes since the numbers were released. And that basically means the market now is expecting interest rates to remain in Australia higher for longer. But it's worth noting, Kieran, that the ASX 200 does react pretty sharply to these sorts of events, and potentially in the next couple of hours of trading, it may be back to where it was before. But you can clearly see investors have been selling shares in the past couple of minutes due to the inflation being slightly higher than anticipated by the market today.